Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never.
Hey you guys. Oh snap. Hey you guys. Happy Friday. Hey Angela. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, we gonna let other people pop on in. Hey Christy, can y'all hear me? Make sure you guys can hear me. All right, let's see. Let me do a refresh. Christy said loud and clear. You guys, it's been a week. I am so happy that it's Friday. I am so happy that next week I only have to work 3 days. I went ahead and took Thursday off. I went ahead and took the following Monday after the 4th. Because listen, I need some R&R. I need rest and relaxation, all right? Yes. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Amy. Where's the pattern I'm working on today? I'm going to share the pattern. But listen, for the last hour, I've been prepping, right? Yeah. So I have a lot of it done. But tell me why I forgot to interface the placket area of this dress. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and talk to you guys all at the same time. I'm just going to move this iron over here. You like how I could just do that? So I'm going to move this iron over here being just a tad bit lazy of not getting up. Hey, Patrice. How are you today, my friend? So I'm doing a selfless. So it ain't even for me. Now, if you guys were on my live, the first one, and I'm going to bring this up because I know Mr. Man's going to come in here real soon if I don't, right? And try to tell on me, aka the husband, right? He like telling on your girl. Y'all got to stop being in it with him, okay? Y'all tell him that I'm your girl and keep it moving, right? But anywho, I know, right? He was going to tell you guys that he's due a shirt. And how can baby girl cut the line and get her something when he still hasn't gotten his shirt, and he's been waiting on this shirt for how many years, baby girl? Oh, she left too. Christy, no. No, I am not making his shirt. Maybe in an upcoming one. Maybe in an upcoming WIP, I'll make his shirt. We'll see. That's still. What? It can be in progress. It's just not in progress right now. See, what did I say? What did I say? I knew he was going to say something. I just knew he was going to say something. Anyway, so the hub is a little, I wouldn't say he's upset with me. He's going to snitch on me because baby girl jumped the line and she's getting her a dress made when the hub's been waiting years. I mean, years. Like, has it been a decade, babe? How long has it been?
I said pretty much.
Oh, pretty much. So, it's been almost a decade, and he's been waiting on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt. So, Because you guys been hearing about this shirt for the last 2 episodes, 3 episodes, I'm going to make the shirt. No, it's not a lie. Don't call me a lie. I'm serious. I'm going to make your shirt. Yeah, I'm going to make his shirt. See, okay, so Christy, you with me, right? So see, the reason why baby girl is getting her shirt dress done is simply because baby girl is the one that be taking these photos. I got to keep baby girl happy too. If you know, you know, right? I mean, I got to keep the hub happy too.
How do you think you were able to sew?
Huh?
How do you think you were able to sew? Where'd that machine come from?
Oh my God.
Where'd that machine come from? Where them tables come from? Where the cameras come from? Come on.
Y'all see how he's just roasting me? Y'all feel my pain? He said, where the machines? How do you think you got the machine? How do you think you got the camera set up? How do you think? I appreciate you so much. I give you shout outs all the time. I'm still gonna make you a shirt. I didn't say I wasn't gonna make your shirt. Point exactly. Point exactly. Because the crew got to take photos this weekend of my finished project. 2 finished projects at that. So when y'all think that I'm not behind the scenes sewing because y'all see video, listen, I'm always behind the scenes sewing for the most part. For the most part. Hey baby girl, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Where's your pattern? Oh, never mind.
Right there.
No, I moved it.
Oh, I thought.
So, no, because I need to get the placket piece out. Alright, so let's see. It's this pattern right here. It's super cute. Simplicity 9763. She doesn't, okay, so here's the thing. She doesn't want it color blocked. I think she could rock a color block one, but she said no to the color block. So we are doing view C with the short sleeves, but she wants it all one fabric. And she picked a fabric, of course, she picked her own fabric, but she picked a fabric from the WIP box, okay? So this pattern was not originally in the WIP box, just the fabric to do something with. And I was actually going to make a pair of shorts, and then my sidekick comes in and she's like, Mommy, can I get a dress? You only need like 2.5 yards of fabric. This looks like about 2.5 yards of fabric. I mean, you can't sew a shirt with this fabric because you need about 2.5 to 3 yards. And if you have to size it up, I got the whole thing. Like, she was really coming for my fabric, and she won. She was so deserved. Okay, so for hers, she only needed 1 1/4 yard of fabric for her shirt dress. However, my daughter is a little tall. It doesn't look that way, but my daughter is 5'3", 5'3", or 5'4".
Almost as tall as you.
Yeah, she's almost tall as me, and I'm 5'6", and she's like 5'3", 5'4". So she gave me her complete spill, pitch. I stewed on it for a little bit, and I was like, well, if I make her something, that's one less thing I make for myself, but I can get rid of one fabric and have no leftovers. So that was perfect, because what I did was I extended the length. So you could pretty much say I hacked this pattern. And if you guys don't know, Chris from Unsocial is having a pattern hackathon. It actually starts July 1st, next week, on Tuesday, July 1st through the 31st. She has announcement videos and everything for the pattern hackathon. In addition to that, I am doing the Kiss challenge, which is Keep It Simplicity Sis. You can do both challenges. You can sew a simplicity pattern and hack it and have your entry into the pattern hackathon, which will have prizes. So just so you know that. All right. Let's see what we have in the chat. Hey Helen, hey Lynette. Christy, this girl had her whole pitch down. I think she listens to me so much on these videos because she be on the camera. She be on camera duty when I'm sitting down doing videos. Look, she back there laughing because every time what video was that? Oh, it was the pattern haul. It was the pattern haul. So when I did the pattern haul, and I think it was the Juneteenth pattern haul, like a week or so ago, I could not say Nanani to save my life. So I'm filming and I kept saying, no, 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 no. And I was like, no, 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 no. And she just busted out laughing. She was like, oh my gosh. It was more bloopers than what I always share. I mean, getting through a whole video with this girl on the other side of the camera with no bloopers, hardly ever. But sometimes I just talk through her laughing a lot of the times because she's on the other side of the camera laughing at me. And I'd be like, no, 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 no. Or laugh or tell her, no, we're not doing that. One or the other. All right, I'm going to get started. Majority of this pattern is prepped and ready to go. I don't have all of my buttonholes. I probably will not do buttonholes tonight, but I will do as much as I possibly can tonight and then put the buttonholes on and buttons on tomorrow to where baby girl could take pictures this weekend because we already have hair to wash. She wants her nails painted for the 4th, TBD on that. And she wants me to roller set her hair because right now she's been rocking twists for, how long you been having those twists up, baby?
This one has been
2 weeks?
The
2 weeks?
last ones were a month.
Yeah. We like to do styles that's going to last to where she doesn't have to mess with her hair for anywhere from 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks for the most part. But she does wash her hair and twist and braids and all that stuff. So yeah, it's time for her to take them down and get a roller set done and straighten all that body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. Yeah. So she's going to have all that body. I'll take pictures before you guys ask, you go take pictures? Of course I'm going to take pictures of it. Oh, yeah. This, man, she keeps me busy over here. Mm-hmm. So you guys, talking about busy, listen. In the last couple of days, I'm going to say 4 days, you talking about reels? I feel like I'm becoming a pro at these reels for Instagram. Because, baby, this girl over here be having the most catchiest songs to put with these reels.
What did I say?
Like, I forgot all about popping my collars. And she was like, we need to do popping my collars. Ever since I can remember, I was popping my collars. I was like, oh, you know what? I forgot about that song. Why my daughter knows about the song. She get it from her daddy. She get it from her daddy. All right. Latest and greatest news. Let's talk about patterns first. All right. So the placket is now done. All right. So I'm going to get started sewing now. Where's my instructions for this? Oh, here we go. We'll move this out of the way. Be careful with the iron, okay?
Okay.
So listen, you guys. My kids love to be in my sewing studio while I'm sewing.
I'm over back there.
But, what?
I'm over here. Hi. I'm in the
Okay, yeah. Stay over there. They don't want to see you.
Yeah, they're here for you, not for me.
Yeah, they didn't come for you.
Yeah, I'm never here.
Exactly. Anyway. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, so I am doing, once again, I think the pattern should have popped up to tell you guys which pattern I am doing. It is Simplicity 9763 for Baby Girl, my crew. This is like fairly a super easy sew. I have done pretty much more than 40% of the pattern already. In the last, right before I got on, I had 45 minutes to do the prep. So I have already done the pockets on the front and the back. I just need to sew those together to the side seam. I have went ahead and hemmed the sleeves, I have went ahead and hemmed the bottom of the sleeves. I have done the sleeve caps to, what is the word called? Look, I'm forgetting the word. Ease, yeah, to ease it onto the armscye. I have done that already. I have already put together my collar and collar band. Boom, just to put it on the blouse or shirt dress once that's done. And yeah. And the placket area is already done. So, super easy to do. And it only took me 45 minutes to get that done. One thing I like about this pattern, it has no darts. Love it. Okay? Love it. Hey, Gifts Extraordinary. Nice to see you today. All right, so the first things first, I'm going to do, where's these instructions? Because I am I'm saying where's these instructions like I don't know how to put a shirt dress together. I have done so many shirt dresses, but this is for a kid, so you never know how they want you to put it together. But we're gonna look at these instructions just to tell you when something's wrong. Oh, by the way, if you have any type of children and you're thinking of doing this pattern, or grandchildren, two things I'm going to mention that's already incorrect that I picked up when I was prepping this pattern. Number one, pattern piece number 10, which is I think it's the collar band, the neck band. Okay, neck band. It tells you to cut 2, you need to cut 4. 2 is going to be for the main fabric and 2 will be for the facing. So you need to cut 4, not 2. You need to cut 4 and interface 2. All right. The collar, same thing. It have you cut 2. You need to cut 4 because you're going to have your main collar and then you're going to have your facing for the collar. So those two things were incorrect. I did make a hack. One of the hacks that I made was I lengthened this shirt dress by, do you remember how long I lengthened it?
No, I did not.
6 inches?
I think so.
I think it was 6 inches, but I make sure when I post the photos and stuff after being done, when I post photos, I'll let you guys know that. So I think it was roughly about 6 inches. I did have to size up the pattern for her hips because baby girl got hips by 3 inches. I enlarged the bust by 2 inches for that. I cut a size 10 because her waist is very, very small, but she's very healthy up top and in the hips. If you know, you know. I think she get that from her mama's side of the family. We ain't gonna talk about that though. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so I gave a good introduction. Welcome everybody. You should have got, listen, I'm doing a shirt dress, but not even for me. My daughter does not own one shirt or shirt dress. Am I right?
Wait.
Do you own a shirt dress right now?
I don't have any. I only have one singlet dress.
No, do you own a shirt dress? Just answer my question.
No, I have a shirt. I have a button down shirt.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so you have she has a shirt, no shirt dresses, so we're gonna fix that today. First things first, I'm gonna start working on the placket area, which is pattern piece number 4. Ooh. And with right sides together, let me make sure I have the right one. With right sides together, I am going to pin the placket to the front just like this. So instead of me, y'all, I did not hook up the camera to the system in order to do back and forth. So I'm just going to pin right here and talk at the same time. So with baby girl, she decided that she wanted a shirt dress. And she's like, oh, I want to wear this after you're done. And I'm like, you're not going to allow time? So she'll probably wear this for the 4th of July. Were you looking to wear this for the 4th of July? No.
After the 4th of July, because I already have a dress planned for 4th of July.
She has something planned for the 4th of July. So after the 4th of July, could you give me the other pins on the table, please?
Yeah. This purple one?
Yeah.
Switch.
Yes. Here, you can put that one right there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyway, she has something planned for the 4th that she's going to wear. So she's planning on this one being after the 4th. So we'll see. We'll see when she wear it. But she'll probably have a whole look planned for herself. Let's see what kind of look she comes up with. Because I'm not going to help her come up with a look. I will tell her if it's not looking right. I will tell her that though. Patterns. Let's talk about patterns. So the latest and greatest collection that came out were what was the last collection that came out? Ooh, was it Simplicity Summer Collection. What did y'all think about that collection? Honest opinion, right? What did you guys think about the summer drop of the Simplicity patterns? I think they dropped, matter of fact, last week. I don't even think, you know what? We didn't even touch bases on it. Well, we couldn't have touched bases on it because, real talk, I wasn't here last week. So I was here, but not here live last week. So what are your thoughts of the pattern? Yes, I can. All right, so Lynette, the pattern that I'm working on for my daughter is this one. Simplicity 9763. This is a girl shirt dress, shirt or hat. So you could do the shirt dress, the shirt, or the hat. Let me move my fingers so you guys can see. At the bottom, they have the hat. So you could do that. You could do that one, which I don't have enough fabric for the hat, so she could just wear her baseball cap that's black and white. She could just do that. Okay, I'm with you, Gifts. Extraordinary. I'm with you there. Okay. There were a few that I picked up. Deborah, I only have like 3 years left with this girl. And I mean, we didn't have some fun times. As she gets older, she spends less and less time with me because she just, you know how like teenagers are, they just like to, you know, do their own thing, be with their friends and stuff. So because it's summertime, I get more time with her, even though majority of her year in school is spent with the band. So I became a band mom just to spend a little bit more time, look at her perform and stuff like that, because y'all don't know, she is a performer, okay? She loves to perform. Whether it's dancing or marching with the band, if it's kind of like a little dance team or whatever, this girl loves to perform. Now, she may not love to be in front of the camera for like a YouTube or a Instagram. My kids be acting camera shy every time I put the camera on them. So most of the time it always has to be behind where they don't know that I'm filming until they're already in it, you know. They get camera shy for Instagram and YouTube. But then at the end of the day, they be in the background talking the whole time. Please make that make sense. Just Sean. Oh, so gifts extraordinary. Yes, you talking about the shirt pattern that Sean D did way back in the days. I think she did that video like at least 10 years ago. Probably like 10 years ago. It was McCall's 64, 66 or something like that. I have to go back to my notes and tell you the pattern number. She plays the trumpet. So my husband played the trumpet from 4th grade through college. Been in many music videos as well as a movie for playing the trumpet. I think I said it before, but yes, he's been in multiple Outcast videos as well as a movie for trumpet. He went to school in Atlanta. For college, and then left that and got his degree at Capella afterwards. So, yeah. Deborah, listen, I didn't think I was gonna like being a band mom because I feel like I grew up with music. So my family is very musically inclined. I think I said this on my last live, or maybe the first one on this series. My grandmother was a gospel singer, and she traveled a lot with the, you know, with the church, singing gospel choirs and stuff like that. And then she had her own group. Now, don't ask me what it was. I would have to ask my dad, simply because it was before my time. And she passed away before I even was born, so I never got to meet her. But I have heard multiple songs that she has done over the years. I have aunts who not only were seamstress, but they were singers too, and multiple choirs, music out. One of my cousins used to sing with Marvin Sapp. So, yeah, come from a musical family. They all sing. Sister sings. Dad he played piano from age of 8, and he still plays now. He has a whole piano studio in his house. So, yeah. And now my daughter, she plays trumpet. My husband plays trumpet. My brother plays trumpet. My older brother plays trumpet. So they all trumpet. But I mean, I don't mind being a band mom. Yes, to answer your question, yes, extraordinary. Yes, I can. Let's see who else we got.
Playing Mario Kart?
Is he playing Mario Kart in the middle of my live?
Yeah, him and Dom.
What? Hey, Dominic, could you turn it down, please? You're interrupting my live, honey.
Oh, my bad. Am I interrupted?
That's her. That's her. That's not us.
Okay, the second one was me, yeah.
No, he just needed to turn the TV down just a little bit because it was loud. I mean, I heard the TV over my live. What is going on there? All right, back to what I was saying. Is my family gonna let me be great today? All right. But yes, I enjoy being a band mom. I don't always get to participate, like, you know, with taking equipment to different schools or whatever. I go to all the home games. I'm a home game mom. The away games, no. I don't go to those because how Orlando traffic is set up, it'll have you driving for 2 hours just to go 20 miles. That's number one. Number two, the signing up to be a participant. I'm sorry, but I mean, I love kids, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to drive with kids because the style of music that I listen to, I would have to be playing kids bop in the car, and my kids can't stand kids bop, you know. So with me, we do not listen to kids bop. With my husband, they will listen to kids bop. They will listen to kids bop with my husband because he's not playing that. This got too much this in there, and this got too much that in there. Could you just hear your daddy telling me that every 5 minutes? Like, dude, get a grip. All right, hold up. Hold up, wait a minute. Okay. Let me finish this side of this shirt dress. This thing is long, girlfriend.
I'm tall, mommy.
That's why I can't say nothing to this girl. She gives me all the extras.
Come on, save my video.
Yes, it is. It is. However, growing up, singing in the choir and stuff like that, I just felt like I was always either at home or at church in the choir. I had to practice overtime because my dad was the pianist. So I used to hate having to stay after church to practice at home, practice with the choir. Like, it was a lot. But, I mean, I always miss my home church. So when I go home, I tend to go and see all the people. Alright, let me trim this down. Now I'm going to trim down this placket area. Get that all trimmed down. Alright, so patterns. The Simplicity pattern drop, I feel that they were okay. The McCall's pattern drop was okay too. Hold up, how in the world did I do this? Hold up. This, no. That's not gonna work. What in the living bejesus is this?
I don't know, not over there.
Okay, listen. I'm not gonna tell you what I did.
Would I get mad if you do?
Huh?
Would I get mad if I do?
No. It's something that I did because I have to unpick now because apparently I wasn't looking at the right and the wrong side, and I sewed the right side to the wrong side.
Huh?
On both placket areas. But good thing that I didn't trim it down before figuring that out.
I'm gonna act like I understood everything.
How in the world did I just do that?
Nothing.
Well, I have two options. I could just take, because, I mean, here's the thing.
What?
The reason why I have to take it down is because I already have the pockets on here. So, because I already have the pockets, I can't do, like, you know how, like, most fabrics, some, like this one, it looks the same on the right and wrong side, but because I have the pockets, I already searched the pockets and all that good stuff. I'm just going to take it down and just redo it and have it the right side showing. So it's not going to take me too long to take this down, but that's what I get for messing with this child over here.
Oh, I turned it off.
The child, the hub, everything. And then just completely sewed this placket on the wrong side. That's what I get. That's what I get. But at least I realized that before trimming the seam allowance down. And it's okay because, like I said, majority of this has already been done. It's just putting the pieces together at this point. The placket, sewing the side seams together, sewing on the collar, putting on the sleeves, and that's it tonight. That's it. So, you know, relatively quickly. As long as I can correct this placket area real quick. So, Amy, the drops have been like really one of those people champ eyebrows. You know? So I'm going to say prior to COVID, I used to be like excited for the pattern drops. Within the last, within the last 4 years, the pattern drops has been like no excitement. Because I'm like just seeing a lot of repeats. Like, I'm just going to stop right there. Repeats have been like the big thing. Now, we all know that they have repeated patterns in the last like decade. We know that. But one thing that I will say is they will take like patterns from, let's say, a Butterick pattern, right? And now it's a McCall's pattern the next year. Like, and the crazy part about it is that the pattern that they copied, Control+C copy, it's still on the website. Like, if you are going to copy a Vogue pattern and it becomes new look now, wouldn't you think it would be Vogue is out of print? But then catch this. So they make a Vogue pattern new look now, but then want to charge Vogue prices for a new look pattern. Are you serious? No. New look patterns is the off-brand version of Vogue now. Like, it's like, you know how you go and get some cereal, right? And you have the malto meal cereal that comes in a bag, and you'll have like what is it? Captain O's or something for Captain Crunch. Like, you cannot give me Captain
cereal.
What?
It's called Crunch cereal.
Crunch cereal, whatever. But you cannot expect me to get Captain O's, but you charging me Captain Crunch prices. Excuse me? No. That is not going to work. I think they did go back to $3.99 for new look patterns. Yeah, that's crazy. So Deborah, when it comes to indie patterns, I do like a few of them. I wouldn't say like I have a favorite brand because I do buy a lot of Vicky Sew patterns. And I have one that I'm going to be sewing up in the next upcoming week, right after the 4th. I'll be sewing it up. I'll be sewing that pattern up, which is the Cynthia blouse. It's like a button-down shirt, but it's oversized. So I want to use a pink fabric from my stash. Y'all know I've been into the whole using what's in my stash. Now that I can't just go and pick up fabric from Joann's or anything. So I've been literally using all the fabric that I have cut out, put to the side, or it's like a scrap buster. So that's what I've been doing first before just picking a new fabric from my stash. And it's been going really, really good, for sure. Yeah, so before COVID, I used to get excited. Now it's like, let's see what else they have. And then it's just a repeat pattern. But then, you know, I have toned down quite a bit with, you know, rating the patterns badly. Like, I used to be cutthroat with these pattern drops, right? But I have cooled off a little bit. but I will not. So with the pattern drop, I am brutally honest with these patterns. But it's just like my opinion, even though, I get a lot. I get a lot of, what's a good word to say? People get real mad and in their feelings because I said it's a no for me. Or if I say this is a repeat pattern, someone will be in a comment like, this is not the same pattern. I said, I didn't say it was the same. I said it was similar because I feel that it's similar, right? Yeah. But I mean, they're all the same at this point. So picking up patterns, like for me, one thing that I notice is I pick up patterns only if it's like something that I don't want to hack or I have to find like a similar silhouette. If I don't have the pattern, I'll pick it up again. Or if I need the pattern, like if it's a good pattern and I have done it once or twice and need a fresh copy, I will go back and pick up the pattern again. Extraordinary. Yes, I completely get it. So one of the things with indie patterns, or even like I purchased a lot of PDF patterns from the Big Four or Big Five, with whoever you're talking to, depending on Big Five, Big Four, whatever. But from Simplicity website, I will pick up PDF patterns, and the reason why I've been doing that since last year is because I have a huge size of printed paper patterns. And although I know Joann's is closed, I just haven't had a lot of time to just put them all up for sale. My daughter's been doing an amazing job getting those patterns up to have a pattern sale on the ones I don't see myself sewing anymore. And a lot of them, some are knit, some are wovens, some are athleisure patterns as well, costume patterns. It's because my climate changed. So a lot of the knit patterns are older patterns from before 2020. So those are pretty much those patterns that are definitely out of print that you cannot get. Those will be going up for sale pretty soon. And I know I said this like last summer, but when I say it's a lot, it is a lot. We're talking about 4 big gallon bins worth of patterns that my daughter and I separated during Christmas time last year to do the pattern sale at the top of the year. But it's so many to put into the system for sale. So we've been doing just a little bit at a time until I can get all of them up and running. But I do have 2 weeks in December. So that is the plan to, I'm not saying like I want to wait until December, but I am taking a lot of time off in December. So that's something that I want to get up to you guys. Hopefully I can get it done before the end of the year. That is so funny, Deborah. She said, you make the pattern, and I heard they But it's like this. Like you say, oh, this is a similar pattern to this, right? But I'm saving you money that you don't even have to go look and see. You hear it from me. I'm known to have a 1-for-1 copy or a similar pattern and give you ideas of ways that you can hack and get the same thing to save your coins. And you mad at me for telling you that? I don't know. I don't get that, but to each his own for sure. That Deborah, you right with me on that one. Like, now here's the thing. I'm not telling people like don't go buy this pattern. I have never told nobody that. Like, buy whatever you want. I'm just giving you ideas of how to save your pocket. Because when I started sewing, patterns were 99 cents. Now patterns is up to what, $2.99? No, Simplicity's selling patterns for $4.99. Like, you talking about inflation? That's a heckified inflation in the last what, 5 years? They didn't just double; they 5 times that. I got 5 on it, right? That's just crazy, crazy. So that's why patterns that I purchase now, they have to be able to, I have to be able to wear them to work, period. If I cannot wear it to work, I am not going to buy the pattern. So those patterns where back is out, like a vest pattern, I think it was a Nomi pattern. Lindsay's pattern, I think it's 2014, I think is her pattern number, or 2114, something like that. And I love her vest pattern. However, because the back is out and I would have to put on a blazer or cover my back, I purchased the pattern, but I already know that would be like for a vacation or something like that, because I would never be able to wear that to work without something over it. And who wants to do all that work and then throw something over it? No. No, thank you. Yes. So, Deborah, I'm so thankful that you enjoyed, like, me telling you guys kind of like how to save your money, how to save your coins, what to buy, what you may and may not have not considered in buying things. I'm grabbing the other pattern piece to take it off, and then baby girl over here looking at me. Yeah. No, I'm almost done taking this one off too, so then I could sew them back up together. Um. Okay, started sewing last year. Yes. So extraordinary, I'm with you. You just go in that stash and make sure you look. So I remember it was last year, I think. So it was Joann's. I was at Joann's and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. And one of the managers, she was throwing away like patterns. They weren't sending it back to Simplicity or anything. She was throwing them away. So I just happened to be in the store doing my Joanne scroll, and um it was one of those where they forgot to change the signs on the patterns. So it said that Vogue patterns were on sale that week, but of course the signs were expired. And someone who goes in the store every single week said the sign is up. So I don't know if you guys know this, but if the sign is up past the expiration date, they still have to give you that on sale because they were supposed to take it out. Well, I already knew that rule that Joann's had, but I wasn't going to argue with the girl. So I was just like, oh, okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. I'll just come back next week when they're on sale, because I knew pretty much like the rotation of patterns, because I was in there 2 and 3 times a week in Joann's. So the manager, who already knew me because she sees me every single week, 2, 3 times a week, she was just like, hey, I'm throwing away some patterns. You want to get some patterns? I was like, oh, sure. Now, I'm going to be honest. Probably about 60% of the patterns are patterns that's not my style. So what did I do? I gave those away to an older lady who, she loves the vintage patterns and stuff like that. So I gave those to her. I knew someone who loved costume patterns, so gave those to her. Gave a lot of the kids' patterns away because honestly, I don't really sew for my children. Every once in a blue moon, my son will get a button-down shirt, and that's pretty much a theme shirt for something he has at school. Like when I did a Jurassic Park, because for a science project, he needed to have something, wear something with dinosaurs. He does not have one shirt that had dinosaurs on it then. So I was like, well, you know what? Let's go get you 2 yards of fabric and let's make you a dinosaur shirt. And I'm telling you, that kid was the flyest kid in class that day. Him, I know he loved that Jurassic Park shirt.
Like, every time he washed it, he would get it out and wear it again. I'm like, you just washed that.
Thank you for that explanation. I tell you, my family is never going to let me live on live without saying anything. They're going to say something every time I'm live. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it, girl. But he was the flyest thing in school that day. And every time he wear it, I have to wash it, hang it up in his closet, and make sure he did not see me hang it up in the closet. Because if he knows it's clean, he's going to take it right back on out. And that shirt is on repeat. So now I have it hanging in the back part of his closet. He hasn't worn it in probably 2 months at this point. But when I make him something, he literally wears it to death, okay? And I don't really make him much. But I do have fabric for him that I picked up at Joann's where I can make him a couple of button down. That's all he wants me to make him, button down shirts. But he has a favorite pattern. I purchased his Simplicity 8852 is the pattern. I purchased that in a PDF to have it for bigger sizes for when he grows out of the size that I have already cut for him. Brenda, listen, I am a frugal person. I don't care how much money I make, my husband make, my family make. I do not care. I am frugal. I'm that person that goes to the grocery store and I look at the price tag to see which one's going to save me money. Do you go by the price or do you go by the unit? I go by the unit. How much am I paying for the unit? Right? And then on top of that, I don't think I told you guys this. I used to be a budget analyst and a financial advisor. So with that being said, of course, you know, I was known to not only save myself money, but other people money. And when I had my daughter, I used to be heavy into couponing. I was that crazy lady that you see on TLC on the, what is that show called? The Extreme Couponer. That was me. I used to literally have a whole binder. I still have the binder, by the way. I was laughing at it the other, actually Sunday when I went to the grocery store. My my husband was like, you remember when you used to have coupons and baseball cards and you had the binder and you would go in Rite Aid and Eckerd's and what's the other one? CVS, Walgreens with a binder including the grocery store with a whole binder, and you had I used to spend over 40 hours planning my grocery trip. You know, I would take 40 hours a week, plan the grocery trip. Don't let a buy one get one free. And I have coupon. We stocking up. I used to have a whole stockpile of like detergent, toilet paper, toothbrushes, toothpastes, you know, stuff like that in my garage before moving here. And my husband kept saying, she's taking over everything. This is an addiction. Stop buying more stuff. We don't need this stuff. So, I mean, I always say happy house, happy spouse, right? But when my daughter got out of pull-ups and diapers and stuff like that, I quit couponing. I quit couponing back in 2018. I didn't see the need to continuously do it. So I stopped, and now the roles have changed because my husband is the one that does couponing now. But he does not do it. He is not going to cut coupons. He is not going to do any of that. He does it the easy way. And that's if they have it on the app, Target or whoever, Walgreens, what's the other one? Walmart. If it's on the app or on Ibotta or Fetch and all of these different apps that they have now, he is letting me know to get it and how many should we get. So we are frugal over here. Not tight and stingy. We just very mindful of what we're going to buy. Harry Potter's party. My daughter loves Harry Potter's. And I have a cape pattern for the family that I actually was just looking at. And my daughter was like, we should do this for Halloween. I gave her the people's eyebrow. Because you talking about 4 capes? Nah, I can't do that. That's a lot for Halloween. Right when school starts. Everything is digital now. Everything. I was talking to my dad, and he said if he had to grow up now, because he's not into the whole social media, he doesn't even really know how to use a computer, right? When he needs to order something from Amazon, he looks at Amazon and be like, hey baby, could you order this for me? I'm like, well, why do you have a laptop? Well, I have it just to listen to music. I'm like, you can listen to music on, you know, the TV, or he still has CDs, y'all. And he's like, I'm old school. I don't know nothing about that Spotify and Apple Play and Pandora. I listen to it on cassette tapes, vinyl, 8-track, and what's the other one? CDs. I don't know none of that new. He calls it new. Love my daddy. He hilarious. He's hilarious. But he don't do I call it gadget. Now this man will buy every single kitchen appliance, but he's not buying technical things. He's not buying your computer. He's not gonna buy anything. And he can't stand anything that's digital. New phones, new apps, he's not gonna do it whatsoever. We were just talking about how, like, applications. So you guys remember back in the days, you go inside wherever you want to work, you fill out an application, and they get back to you. Now, these application goes through what is called an ATS system, application tracking system, and people used to always ask me when I used to be a recruiter. People used to always ask me, how do you get your application through the ATS system? I said, first of all, stop putting a huge profile summary at the top of your resume, right? That's the first thing you have to stop doing. You want me to tell you why? Simply because the ATS reads that and thinks that it's part of your resume as a job. And really all it is a summary of what you're looking for. That pretty much disqualifies a lot of people from the job market. So, if you're in the job market and you have this huge long laundry list of things you have done and it's in your professional summary, make it shorter. Make your professional summary 2 to 3 sentences based off of the job that you are hiring, that you are trying to get hired for. Period. Yeah, but I used to give resume tips. I used to help people like land the job just by making their resume better. People say I should literally have my own business for going over people's resume and landing them the job. I don't have that type of time. I used to love being a recruiter. And that was at my last job, a recruiter and a program manager. I loved recruiting so much because you never know who you was going to get on the phone. Sometimes you get liars, and then you get some of those people that's just awesome, but interviews really, really badly. Yeah. You get a lot of different walks of people as a recruiter, so I had to learn patience really, really fast. Ooh. Because people be lying, like lawyers. They be lying.
Ugh. I haven't been able to do this.
What?
It's to the fact I had to bend over to do this so I don't pop my head up on the table.
Cool story, honey.
Wow, that was so cool.
I cannot live, y'all. I cannot live with this girl. Do y'all have that one child that interrupts everything? Because I think it's my daughter. She interrupts everything.
Hey, that's me.
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
Hey, Mo. How are you today?
Hi, Mal.
No, it's not that one, Layla. Chill out, man. Chill out. She over here like, hey, Mo. Oh, Deborah. Tell me about it. And it starts by a phone conversation.
What the heck just happened?
That phone conversation better be amazing if you want me to call you back. Otherwise, I'm not, the difference between, a good recruiter and a bad recruiter is this. When you hear a recruiter says, well, yeah, I think that's it. So what's going to happen next is we're going to send your resume over to wherever they're hiring for. And then they ghost you. Then you call and they have a screener. They look at the number like, oh no, I don't want to talk to that individual. Instead of just being upfront, with them on the call, the very first call, so they could get upset with you, but get over it in 10 minutes and just say, hey, I love the chat, but at this time, I think that, what we're looking for is this, and you don't possess the same experience that I'm looking for. But if there's anything else that comes available, I will reach out to you and let you know. Easy peasy, whatever. And I used to hear like my coworkers at my last job be like, yeah, I think you're fit for this. I'm going to get you sent over. And then it's crickets for 2 to 3 weeks. And then they keep calling and calling and calling. And eventually they start calling every number that they could figure out from the website of where I used to work from. And then they get someone like myself who just go tell you straight up like, hey, I'm looking in the system and on your profile it says you was not fit for this role. So if something else comes available and they're like, well, this person told me this person told me that. I'm like, I can't help what they told you, but I'm just telling you what I'm reading on your profile. I used to get told, like, I can't tell people that I'm not moving forward with them. And I said, why not? Just like that, like, I used to have a manager that told me I need to learn how to, what's the word he used? Kind of like low-key passive aggressive. And I said, well, I don't want to be passive aggressive when I don't like passive aggressive people. Those are the type of people that irritates the living bejesus out of me, okay? That passive aggressive, because me being a Virgo, that passive aggressive is not going to work. Because I'm just too honest for that. And I'll just be the one to be like, oh no, you're a little too passive aggressive. Why are you so aggressive? And I use that to my advantage. And it just turns crazy after that. But he said I needed to be a little bit softer. And I feel like I'm soft in some cases. But other cases, not so much. Not so much. Alright, I'm almost done with pulling out this seam so I can get this placket done. I can't believe I did that, but it's been good chatting and removing the stitches because listen, sometimes we just want to pull out our hair when this type of stuff happens. Just this minor mistake. September 8th. Christy. It is September 8th. I'm knee deep in Virgo. All the way. So like my job says it now. That they can see that I'm a Virgo because I hold so many secrets. I'm like, listen. I'm that auntie, right? Like my niece and nephews, they always say I'm their favorite aunt because they'll tell me something. They be like, "All right, now you can't tell my mama. You can't tell mom." I'm like, "Who I'm gonna tell?" Oh. And they swear anytime I'm on the phone with my sister, I'm telling on them. And I'm like, "Nah, I ain't saying nothing. That's up to you to tell." And then it goes to the left with them because they be telling on themselves. I'm like, "Why are you telling on yourself? Be quiet. Be quiet. I didn't tell your mama nothing. I'm just having a conversation with your mama. You didn't tell her, right? You didn't tell her, right?" No, I didn't tell her. Calm down. Breathe easy. Breathe easy. When's your birthday, Christy? Deborah, listen. My biggest pet peeve, and my kids will tell you, that line. Oh my gosh. You lose a friend line. Like, I can't stand somebody that just straight up lie. Lie to your face. Lie behind your back. They lie away. I can't stand them. Oh my gosh. You talking about, especially when I know you lying, that's just like burns me up inside with people. Like, I'm like, you grown in a mug and you sitting here lying. Come on now. What you lying for? If you lie about the little teeniest, weeniest, small, I said weeniest. If you lie about something small, you definitely go lie about something that may cause you life, right? So I get on to my daughter all the time about lying. She is the worst liar ever, right? And she be lying about stuff like as if I was never a teenager before, right? And you know what I tell her? I'm like, "Okay, you lying." She's like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." I'm like, "Okay, you can ask so-and-so." Well, I'm going to ask your friend. She ain't my child. I could care less what your friend's going to tell me, right? No, your friend's going to lie for you. If she's a good friend, that's what she better do. Lie for you. Lie with you, right? Because my friends knew when I was her age, you better lie with me or we no longer friends. You got to keep that honesty and loyalty. That loyalty. Yeah, that loyalty. You a liar with me as a teenager. But now, you know, being a parent, I tell my daughter all the time, I was like, don't lie. I'd rather you tell me the truth, me yell at you for a little bit, and then we on. And then you know what I do? She will tell me something, right? And I'll tell her she lying. And then after she tells the truth, I'm not the parent that go award her for telling the truth with ice cream or something. To let her know, like, I got on your butt, but now let's go celebrate. So you ain't so mad. But I get that from my dad because my dad used to do crap like that. You know, he'd be like, "Yeah, I know you lying, and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that." And y'all remember back in the days where your parents would tell you that they go beat your butt, but then turn around and make you wait all night? He was one of those. But then turn around and never beat your butt only because you've been waiting all day and preparing for this butt whooping that never happened. Yeah. My dad, he was one of those that talk you to death. He'd be like, "Dude, could we hurry up? We've been sitting here for 3 hours and you still telling me about the same thing." Like, why are we having a lecture like I'm in college over me lying to you? Come on. Who does that? I used to hate those, so that's why he did it constantly. The lectures and the lectures and the lectures. I can literally say that I did not really get butt whoopings at all. My dad was the biggest lecturer ever. Oh my goodness. If he comes to my house, listen, this would be hilarious. If he comes to my house and I can ever get him on live, just know you guys will literally have a blast with him. You guys will literally have a blast with this man. Because he will literally tell y'all everything I did when I was a kid. But I wasn't like a bad kid whatsoever. Where is my scissors? Do you have my scissors down there?
Does it look like you have your scissors?
Listen, I'm going to need you to settle down over there, little girl. I'm going to need you to settle down. Where's my scissors? Oh, here we go. Sorry, as I was.
Yep.
Alright, so I have one of the plackets on. I'm going to trim it down.
She's looking so cute.
Because I would love to have this completely done in the next hour for sure. Okay, I just had to. Do you know that literally took me to redo this whole thing? It took me 20 minutes just to take it down. I'm saying just as if that was quick. No, it wasn't. We're not going to talk about that. But 20 minutes to put it all back together. But it's okay. Like I said, I have to show you guys the highs, the lows, the ins, the outs, the wins and the fails. Because everyone think like, oh, Rochelle don't make any mistakes. Did y'all not see that mistake? I make mistakes all the time when sewing. And I've been sewing for a while. But sometimes I make those mistakes too. Alright, so now this one goes over here. With right, let me make sure I have the right side. We don't want that fiasco again. Yep, mind games. Yes, line by line. Worst case. Oh, Lynette. Girl. You meet my daddy, you will be asking for this man every single time. Listen, my dad is an ex-drill sergeant, y'all. Okay? 23 years in the Army. And this man right here, you talking about funny. At my old age, yes, I'm saying old. I'm not that old, you guys. I'm over 40. I'll put it like that. I talk to this man every morning on my ride. I talk to my daddy every morning. And I'm a daddy's girl, y'all. I'm a daddy's girl. My husband knows that. And he's like, she talks to her daddy every morning. And when I say I talk to him every morning and do not let this man not answer the phone, I be chastising my daddy like he my husband, which he's not, by the way. I told my daddy I don't even know how a woman dates you. Simply because, I mean, like, we real similar in the sense of control, right? I'm not controlling, but I don't like to be controlled either. So, and I told my dad, I was like, dude, you controlling. I don't know how in the world a woman would date you. He said, man, I can't even date myself. Like, when somebody said, I can't date myself, Lord, that means you need to fix that. You need to fix that. And then don't let my daddy try to gang up with my husband. The worst. They be trying to gang up against me, but you know, your girl be holding it down. I tell my daddy, that's why you not gonna get any cookies come fall. You ain't getting your cookies. I'm not gonna bake them and send them to you, okay? Then he'd be on that apologize and stuff. See, that's how you get people. Don't forget when I did this. Don't forget when I did. That story changed real quick. Have a good night, Extraordinary. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me.
Yo.
Hey, Layla, how about you go in there and talk to him if you know be behind me talking? I'm literally trying to get this done. Literally. Alright, so Placket is almost in. And then I can show you guys where I am after sewing on this placket. Good thing everything is coming together. But you know what? Like, if I didn't have patience, right, I wouldn't have been taking it down. But I'm not going to even lie. I'm a little OCD when it comes to sewing because you spend all that time sewing. So I literally want everything to look right, to look good, all the things. So when something doesn't come out right, guess what your girl finna do? We finna take it down and redo it. Instead of saying, no, that's all right. No, I don't want to do all that. All right, so now what I need to do is press under 5/8 of an inch on this placket and then trim it down to 3/8. Is that what I need to do? Yeah, I was right. Trim it down to 3/8 after that. So I'm going to make a basting stitch just to have a nice clean 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. I got all kinds of thread. Okay, there we go. Thread over there. You know what? I could see my daughter really enjoying this fabric. I'm glad she actually picked this fabric. I used this fabric on a different live. All right, Deborah, have a good night. I used this fabric for a different live. I did a slip dress with this same fabric. It was like my very, very first live that I did sewing something together. It was last year in February. I used this fabric for the very first live that I did on the channel. Alright, so I have the placket portion. I'm going to move the instructions over there. Not like I too much need them. But, you guys, here's the thing. Let me say this. Let's see if I can beat the clock. Seriously. Alright, so I'm giving myself 10 o'clock, my time, Eastern Standard Time, is in 41 minutes. Do you guys think I could have this entire dress done, and when I say done, everything except for buttons, in 41 minutes? Let me know. Do you think I can have it done in 41 minutes? Max. But the goal is to get it done correctly and right. Hey, could you go put the phone away?
Yeah.
Vanessa, let me see the progress before I even answer you, Rochelle. All right, once I sew this placket together, I'll show you the progress, Lynette, on how much I have done. So let me sew this together, finish pressing and trimming and all that good stuff, and then I'll show you the progress. But I'm going to actually stand up instead of be lazy and sit down and press. Now, who's sewing tonight? Anyone sewing tonight, or are you just kind of like vibing with me tonight? Either way, I appreciate it so much for y'all coming in here vibing with me tonight. Because tomorrow, is going to definitely be a sew day, but it's a picture day tomorrow. So baby girl, she was sitting here working. The reason why she was in here with me, not only because she likes mommy daughter time, she likes being in the sewing room with me when I'm in here, but she's also cooking up stuff for me for filming next week while I am away on a vacation for the 4th of July. So she was doing some planning for next week of what I need to do. So she's over there crafting together thumbnail. She's not making the thumbnail right now. She's just basically doing what I call road mapping concept for the thumbnail for videos that could potentially post while I'm on vacation. Scheduled to post, I should say, while I'm on vacation. So that's why she's in here. And then, of course, I approve everything before it goes on YouTube and Instagram. Did y'all not see how many freaking reels I did on Instagram this week? I'm becoming a pro at reels. Like, whew, this child had me working. So I did, I think, 2 reels yesterday, 2 reels Wednesday, and edit 2 yesterday. I remember I edited the 2 that I did Wednesday. No, I edited 3 reels yesterday. Yeah, I edited 3 reels yesterday, and the reels were done editing. I edited the entire reel in like all 3, no kidding, in like an hour. All 3 of them. Because you know with reels, they're like roughly about 45 seconds to a minute. And we have what is considered a roadmap or a concept map. Some people call it concept map. But, you know, in terms of project management, we call it roadmap, right? So, normally what happens is we come up with a concept for the video or the reel. Then from there, we figure out what we want to put on screen. If I want to put anything on screen, like I'll give you a prime example of what it looks like. Like I'll take the one that I did that I posted today, which was about pressing your collars, right? If you sew a seam, you press the seam. So I actually had my daughter at the ironing board pressing the shirt, which all that's left to do to that shirt is to add on the buttonholes and buttons. That's it. And I'll do that first thing in the morning, wash it, and then take photos too. I might actually put it on after this live. Do the buttonholes. Not buttonholes, the buttons. I'm sorry. The buttonholes done. Put on the buttons is what I meant. Come on, now. Now, this one act crazy with me putting on this placket to the front. All right, here we go. So, with that, we developed kind of like what I wanted it to say, the music, how to fade the music in and out, all of that stuff. We did all of that, like it was already kind of like written down in the plan. And then I film it. After she comes up with the concept and we figure out what would look good, what wouldn't look good, then I film it and then I edit. So just kind of like what a week of that would look like is we work in a 7-day work for any video or reel or whatever. It literally takes us 7 days to do. Oh, that's what's up, Lynette. I need to literally make me a new makeup bag. I'm not gonna lie, for vacation. Thank you so much for that. Which pattern did you use, if you used a pattern? I think it's a Simplicity pattern, by the way, that I use for my makeup bags. I know I did a sew along for it during Vlogmas last year. Listen, Vlogmas killed me last year. I just know for me, Vlogmas is not for me. Posting a video every day for 24 days is not for me. All right, so look, Lynette, just to kind of show you a little bit of the progress, I have to do the placket, sew that in place right here. The pockets are already done on the front. I need to attach the front to the back. I'm going to go ahead and pin the other placket together too, because I don't necessarily need to like sew this right now, the placket, but it will be sewn before I put on the collar. The collar is already done. The collar band's already done. The sleeves are already pinned at the bottom. I just need to attach it to the sleeve. So I mean, when I say a lot of this is already done, it is literally, a lot of it was done during the prep session that I had with myself 45 minutes before I turned on the camera to go live. So it's just putting everything together at this point. Girl, listen, my daughter debated me for this fabric because I was going to make this to go with a shirt for Battle of the Shirt Dresses, right? Because y'all know it's going on until October, right? So you guys will see more shirts, maybe some shirt dresses too. I can't tell you what the lineup is, but I have two that gingham one that you guys have been seeing all week on Instagram, that pattern versus the one that I did on live, which is Butter 6816. That's coming up. I have to take photos for both. We already have the concept done for what I'm going to wear and where we have location picked out for where I'm going to take photos. And of course, my photographer, aka my daughter, she already came up with the poses. Most of the time it's the same kind of poses. So yeah, it's going to be interesting and fun tomorrow. So that's how we kind of like do our photo shoots or whatnot. Now my husband was the one that taught her how to capture photos. So she makes me look tall in my photos. Even though I'm only 5'6", she makes me look tall in my photos. She does very well with my photos. Can't complain. Alright, so I just finished doing the placket. That placket area is done. I'm going to go ahead and attach. Well, no, it doesn't even tell me to attach the front to the back. What the world? What in the world? This makes no sense now. How in the world am I supposed to put that? This is what I'm talking about with instructions. Alright, so fine. Where's step number 6? Here's the thing. It wants me to go ahead and start working on the collar. But it never tells you to put the front to the back at the shoulder seam in order to do that. Isn't that some wild crap? That's what I'm talking about. These pattern instructions be on fire. Like, how the heck am I supposed to do that if you never tell me to put it together? And to be honest, I already know that you need to do that before you put on your collar and collar band. But just not to say that, whoever's like a beginner sewist would not know that. So, alright, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put the front to the back at the shoulder seam. But before I do that, I am going to go ahead and sew the center back seams together first. And then we'll do that. All right, so let me pin the center back seam, which I really don't need to, but we want to keep everything in place. And yes, the pockets is already done for the back too. So we're just going to sew up the center back seam. Put it in a couple of places. And then we're going to sew it together. And of course, serge it. Yeah, I think if I was doing this as a battle of the shirt dress, I would actually use this for a shirt dress or even a shirt, and then have it go against like a plaid or a gingham or even a solid. But the solid color like a red, a plain red, or a dark purple, I think that would be fire. Add some volume at the sleeves or something for that solid, for it to stand out a little bit. And some people would be sleeping on the solid colors simply because when I say I love a good solid shirt to go with like a blazer or something for work, yes, all day. All right, center back seam is done. Listen, majority of the work for this pattern is not in the instructions. But good thing I have made so many shirts to the point where I know the construction, I know what needs to happen. So, yeah. No big deal. We just go get it together. No big deal at all. Alright, so this is the back. I'm going to show you what the back looks like so far. I'm going to go ahead and serge this center back seam. And then we're going to go ahead and start working on the shoulder seams, the sleeves, and those pockets. Oops. Why do my scissors keep leaving me?
I don't know. Why is this all the way over here? Underneath there?
What? Over there. Go over there. Alright. Alright, I found the scissors. It just keeps escaping me. Alright, so I have the center back seams done. Let me sit back down in my chair. Hey, Lala. Alright, so the center back seam is done. Boom. I'm going to press it to one side in just a moment. It's not pressing right now. Now I'm going to sew the shoulder seams. So let me grab one front. I'm going to pin it up at the ironing board. And we're going to pin one shoulder seam together. Matching up the notches. I'm going to pin. I'm going to do both sides. And then, of course, I'm going to serge it together. Ooh. How are you today, Lala? All right, one shoulder seam pin, pinning the other shoulder seam. Because now y'all got me racing against the clock. And I love a good sewing challenge, you know? You guys gonna be so surprised to see me do this. Because we started off a little shaky, you know? Had to take the placket down, put it back together, and then give myself only 40 minutes. 40 minutes to get majority of this done. But I'm a winner. I'm a winner chicken dinner. All right. I have the shoulder seam pin. Hey, Nina. Shoulder seams are pinned. We gonna go ahead and sew this together and then serge it. Serge that shoulder seam. And this is where the fun happens. As soon as I have her try it on afterwards, she's not gonna want to take it off, y'all. Life of having a new item, right? Yes. Yes, it is hot here. H-O-T-T-T-T-T hot. I'm trying to stay cool. I know it. You know what? It's crazy because I think everyone is experiencing that heat wave throughout the U.S. Even though I know it was like really pouring down rain and thunder and then lightning on my way home. I had to drive home in rain, pouring down rain and fog all at the same time. But we are in hurricane season, so it doesn't surprise me at all. All right, I'm serging this shoulder seam. Trim the loose threads. The other one. Loose threads. All right, I have the shoulder seams done. I'm going to press the seam allowance towards the back, and then I'm going to start working on the sleeves and the side seam. All right. Now, I want to introduce everyone to my good friend, one of my best friends. It's called the seam roll. Okay. Yes, I do use it a lot. I use it on every single project. I refuse to have these seams looking crazy, okay? Especially when all you have to do is use it and press. That's it. But I know some people's like, I don't have time to get it out. You are a product of how much you spend time. So you spend all that time sewing and we're not gonna press those seams. No, I'm just having a conversation with you, not calling nobody out. But I'm just gonna say, use your best friend, not use and abuse, but I mean have a conversation. Y'all just besties right now. My other best friend is called the Seam Ripper. We go together very, very badly, okay? She loves me and I love her. As long as we hand in hand, we good, okay? When she's not being used very much, then she gets to acting a fool when I need to use her, okay? Alright, so this is what we got going on. I'm going to go ahead and do the sleeve right quick. Now, just for reference, on these sleeves, I already have the bottom hem done. Oh yes, Lynette, the seam roll makes a huge difference. So I have the sleeve cap already gathered. I have the bottom hem already done. I am using the flat method to put both sleeves in. And then I'm going to sew the side seam as well. Y'all know how I do this, okay? We sew, and I'm going to come to my table real quick to do this. But I like doing the flat method for sleeves because I feel like it just works out best for me doing it that way instead of a set-in sleeve. So I hardly ever do set-in sleeve. The only time I do like a set-in sleeve is basically if I'm sewing like a jacket or something. that has a cuff, then I will do a set-in sleeve. But for the most part, I will always opt to do a flat sleeve. Or the flat method, whichever one you want to call it. Alright, so I'm going to pin mine. And yes, I do not have my overhead camera hooked up to the system for the live. I completely forgot to do that for me to use my table, but I'm just using a table for now, just to pin the sleeves. Alright. We go pin at this notch. Get it together. I know you guys can't see it and I am so sorry for that. But just know that you guys will see it in action once I get it pinned and sewn together. Listen, so before jumping on live, I was doing prep, right? And while doing prep, tell me why one of these freaking pins pinched the bejesus out of me so bad that it caused me to start bleeding. My daughter rushed to my aid just like a good daughter would, right? She rushed to my aid and went and got me a Band-Aid, even though it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't bad. It was just a pinch. But she ran to my aid, got me a Band-Aid, boom, boom. Secured it before I even hit the going live button. And it was good. It was just like a little pinch. You know how you pinch yourself with one of those pins? So yeah, that's what happened right before I started the live. So I'm going to always say, be careful with these freaking pins because, baby, they hurt. They hurt. Alright, so I have one sleeve in. I'm going to go ahead and pin the other sleeve just so I don't have to come back over here to do it. This is how you work smarter and not harder, okay? And you guys hear me say this all the time if you watch any of my sew-alongs. I do multiple steps at a time to keep from going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to the sewing machine. Like literally, people don't know that sewing is a workout, okay? It is a huge freaking workout going back and forth to the sewing machine, back and forth to the pressing table, back and forth to the, you know, cutting out, sewing a seam, you sew a seam, you press the seam, you know? So it is a huge workout. People don't understand that, but sewing is a workout. It is. So that's why when it comes to people asking me like, hey, work does it all the time. Hey, I would love to have that. Would you sew something for me? And I always say, you talking to me? And you know what my answer is? Nah, I'm good on that. That's my favorite answer. You go, would you sew something for me if I pay you? I don't care how much you pay me. My answer will always stand as, nah, I think I'm good on that. I do not like sewing for other people. Can't you tell my husband's been waiting 10 years, over 10 years for his shirt? Can you tell I don't like sewing for people? But no, seriously, I'm going to make him his shirt. I'm going to make him his shirt. And I might actually do it on one of these lives. I might actually do it on one of the lives. So just stay tuned for that. Just stay tuned for that. Because, dude, I'm not going to... Every live, he's going to say something about it until I do it. And now that baby girl is getting her a shirt and jump the line... The request line, yeah, he's going to be in his feelings until I make him a shirt. So, we going to make that happen.
That's right, Mother's Day is canceled.
Oh, no, he didn't, Salty Petty. He said Mother's Day is canceled.
He said, that's right, Mother's Day is canceled.
He said, that's right, Mother's Day is canceled. It better not be. Get that shirt right. Like a week before Mother's Day next year. I'm wrong for that. I know. Oh,
Mom, did you hear what he said?
I heard him over there talking smart talking about don't you have a birthday coming up? It depends. Am I what you trying to say? You're not gonna do nothing for my birthday unless I make your shirt? We will
now I know what that means.
babe, we'll be divorcees if that happened.
Uh-oh.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking, y'all. We good over here. We
Please
good.
don't let that happen.
We talk a lot of noise to each other, y'all, but it's all in good fun, okay? It's all in good fun. That's why I always say, like, listen, you have to be married or dating your best friend to where neither one will take offense to what you say. I mean, we've been together for over about 25 years. We coming up on 20 years married in December. Like, at this point, you know, I don't like to say, dude, you stuck with me. No. Because anyone could just wake up one day and just be like, yeah, that's it. So far, we haven't determined that. We do have a lot of fun with each other. I'm a hot mess. Like, I'm a hot mess. He loves a little bit of crazy, okay? I don't think my husband could deal with simple. Someone that's boring and simple. I think he likes a little crazy. I don't think he could do boring simple. He'll tell his friends. I think if my husband had to describe me to a friend, he would say that my wife is goofy and there's never a dull moment. We play way too much. We play too much. Which is a good thing. Which is a good thing, for sure. Alright, sewing these sleeves in. Almost done with one sleeve. So I can share with you guys the process. I sound like you right now. The progress. Well, the progress and the process. Both. Like, you better be lucky that I like you, because, baby.
Love me. You don't like me.
Well, yeah, that's true. I do love you. However, you know how much I can't stand sewing for other people.
Yeah.
Alright, so one sleeve in.
Why does it look like two?
I'm going to sew the side seam. You can't really see the sleeves, but this is what it looks like. Alright, I'm going to sew the side seam, but I'm going to do the other sleeve now to get that part done, and then I'm going to pin up the side seams. So,
Are you talking to me or there?
I'm not talking to you, Layla. Get out of my life, man. I'm not talking to you right now. When I talk to y'all, I'll make sure I mention your name. Sounds good?
Where's my...
Alright. Yeah, let me go ahead and sew this sleeve. Alright, so look, I only have 10 minutes, but I could possibly have the side seams done in 10 minutes. What's your thoughts there? Listen, I'm doing a good job for a time. Yes, I am. I'm doing such a good job with time. That's that time management, honey. That time management kicking in right now. Baby, only giving yourself 40 minutes to pretty much sew a That's really unheard of, to be honest with you. I wanted to see how many of y'all was gonna say, Rochelle, you crazy? I mean, I know that, but I just wanted to hear you guys say, Rochelle, you crazy. See, Lynette, listen, you a tripper. Look, since she gonna rock with me no matter what. She said, girl, you got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. All right, so the other sleeve is done. I'm going to go ahead and serge both sleeve or arm's eye area. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the side seams. And then I'm just going to have her kind of like just, not necessarily try it on, but try it on. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, so let me go ahead and serge this together. Both. Out. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Making sure that there's no bunching up. We all know that that's going to make or break a garment with all that bunching up and you're not taking your time to go around those curves. That's a deal breaker. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I know it's like, girl, I can't even envision what this is going to look like right now because it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. But just bear with me. We almost at the side seam. Then once you see the side seams, baby, then you can see the vision. All right. Move this out of the way. Now, your girl is getting ready to pin up both side seams and sew the side seam. So then, it'll start looking like an actual dress instead of a whole bunch of... Look, this doesn't look like nothing right now. But we finna make this look like a dress, okay? So let me pin it up. Nina, I am doing this for my daughter. The pattern is Simplicity 9763 is the pattern number. And we are more than 50% done with this dress for her. She is probably going to wear this on vacation after the 4th. Well, I don't know how she's going to wear it after the 4th because our vacation is like the 3rd through the 6th, I think. Something like that. So, yeah. So, she's going to figure it out. That's basically what she's going to be doing. Figure out when she's going to wear this ensemble, but I will share pictures of it when she wears it. And she will not have a photo shoot with me tomorrow, but it might be Sunday. I mean, she has to figure out her styling, which she has all day today. Well, I'm saying all day today. She don't have the rest of the today to figure that out. But knowing her, she probably already has something up her sleeve because that's just kind of like what she does. If y'all could see like her little drawings of different concepts that she came up for me, and especially like when I did the Battle of the Shirt Dress, the very first one with the floral, she came up with the, no, it was the pink pants. The pink pants, one of my favorite patterns, y'all. She came up with wearing the button-down white shirt, doing the colorful blazer. She came up with what 3 looks I should pair together. And we was actually on the same page with that. Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, I literally tell him, no, I don't like that. And then we get into a debate because she feels like she's the photographer and the designer. I'm like, girl, you don't design me. You just put the concepts together. Stay in your lane. Sometimes I got to tell this girl to stay in her lane. Like, no, I don't like that. And it's just like, you know, like music artists, you know, they tell they sellers that they don't like something. I do the same thing with this girl. Like, no, you take the photos. You don't tell me what to wear and how to style it. But I mean, she'll tell me what she think. Like, hey, you should wear it with this. You haven't worn this in a minute, so I mean, she helpful in that way. I'm not gonna even front. I'm not gonna even lie. She helpful. Helpful with her mouthpiece, right? Alright, so I'm still pinning up this side seam and pocket. And then I'm going to go sew this one side together and then sew the other side together. I might need some more pins. We'll see.
Ooh. Pretty.
Please. Alright. Pin this pocket together now. Alright, so I have one side done. I'm going to sew that one first because I'm running out of pins over here. So, I'm not out of pins. I would just have to dig in the, not necessarily dig in the drawer, but put more pins on this little pin thing. So, we're going to stop right there and then we're going to sew this side and then come back to the table and sew the other side. Alright, so, I'm back. I didn't leave you guys hanging. Thank you so much, Nina. Good night, Mo. Thank you so much for hanging with me, honey. I appreciate you so much. All right, so it's 10 o'clock. I know I didn't get the side seam done, but I'm going to go ahead and do them because I want to have this girl's dress done all the way up. And the only thing I have to do in the morning after I make breakfast is do the buttons and buttonholes, and she would be completely done and ready to wear this next week because it still has to go through the washing machine. Like, honey, she's not gonna wear it straight off the press, okay? We have to wash all the markings and all of that stuff out of it. Lynette, my daughter is a huge freaking trip. She be tripping all the time. That's why I have to be like, girl, be quiet, right? Now my son in there talking about, oh my God, so. Kiddo, calm down. You know how, like, why when people play video games, they talk to the TV like the TV could hear them? It's just as bad as, you know, I'm going to say this, but then everybody go get on to me. You know how I do it. I'm guilty of it. Like when a basketball game is on, right? You start yelling at the TV talking about, go, 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 right? I don't want to say it too loud, but more than that, right? And then like football. You know, everybody be like, there he go when he running for a touchdown, right? We get to yelling at the TV screen. This boy's doing the same thing like he watching football or sports or whatever. He just playing a video game, yelling at the TV like the TV's go talk back. right, one side done. I am going to go ahead and do the pocket and then serge this seam and then do the other one. So using 5/8 of an inch. Then let's go ahead and get this pocket done. And who wants a dress with no pocket? This girl would not let me live if I didn't put pockets on a dress. Cause she's like me, she gotta throw her hands, I would say keys, but she ain't really got no keys other than the house key. But yeah. Alright. Alright, so one side is done. Boom, it's looking good. That one side is done. Now it's time to pin the other side before I serge both side seams, and then you can see what the dress look like. I'll have her put it on over her shirt, okay? And then work on the collar, and that would be it for the night. Look, listen, your girl is on to something tonight, okay? Like, whew, if it wasn't for that placket at the very beginning of this live, I would have already been done, okay? But we're not going to talk about it. We just going to work through it, be in good spirit, and still make it do what it do. Because this right here, my friend, is gorgeous. You know what? This is why I don't sew for other people, because I literally feel like this should be my dress. Not my daughter's dress, but I feel like this should be my dress. I'm low-key petty and hating all at the same time. I'm hating. And I'm the one that's making it. Like, y'all get my dress. I'm mad that this is on my fabric for a dress, and I want it. Well, you know what I need to do? Go to Houseofmamiwwata and see. Actually, I have a similar fabric, honestly, in my stash to this one. What color is it? It has like brown, pink, blue. It has a whole bunch of different colors. I think what I could do with that one, because it is 6 yards that I have that's similar to this fabric, I think what I could do is get a button-down shirt pattern, extend it, and then make kind of like a pajama set with the fabric and a pair of pants. But the pants elastic, of course, for that. Now, typically, I don't want cotton pajamas at all. Because, I mean, cotton do get hot. But they are breathable here in this hot heat. I'm not going to even lie to you. I do love a lot of rayons, though. But I'm using what's in my stash right now. So, cottons it is for right now, until I use some more of my fabric. And I do have some fabrics that I want to sell as well, that, you know, I wouldn't wear to work, so I need to sell some of my fabric too that I picked up. I've been on like more of a solid kick, solid plaids, stripes lately. So when I pulled out the bin and seen like some Ancaras and stuff like that, my husband was like, I remember when you sold nothing but Ankara. And now you into your solid era. I was just like, yeah, I was print heavy in 2021 and some in 2020. I think 2021 and 2022 was all about my prints. Now I kind of transitioned over to sewing more solids and plaids and stripes lately. So, all right, so sewing this other side seam before serging it together. Make sure these seams are matching up. We can't have one down, one up. That's wild. No. Can't have that. Make sure that these seams, raw edges are flush. Go to the other one, move it up a little bit to sew that side seam together. Go to about right here. We are in the home stretch, y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. What are we sewing? Or did everyone just kind of take a pause on sewing for right now? Y'all know what I'm sewing. We finna get this done. Get it done, son. I am now sewing around her pockets, and then serge this entire dress together before working on the collar. Well, I don't need to work on it, I just need to pin it. And then I'm done. Oh, the hem. I gotta do the hem too. Look at these pins be trying to take your girl out, man. These pins are rough. Oh, these fingers of mine. Almost poked myself again with a pin. Ain't that something? Alright, so this is what it's looking like so far. Let me... Hey, leg, come here right quick. Come here right quick. Be careful because I have pins on the inside of the placket. Turn around. You're fine. Here. Just be careful of the pins. You gotta come this way so they can see. Come this way, the camera's right there. Here, let me get up so you could scoot into the camera.
Ow! I got my neck.
Okay, hold on. That's what I said.
Ow!
Just remember you have a shirt on too, so I know that. I know. Listen, you acting a whole freaking fool right now. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Ow! That hurt.
You got one more time to scream like something wrong with you.
I got called out from Bull and Layla.
Move. Girl, calm down. You asked for this, okay? All right. Anyway, it fits, okay? I can't with this girl. She. Whew, Lord. You got my neck. You got my arm. I told you before. What?
Her phone's throwing shade at me. It said on Bull.
All right, go so I can finish this up, please.
Wait, where did my scrunchie go?
I don't know. Right here. Okay.
Look, it said on bullying her.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'm still on the live. I'm almost done. Everybody want to talk to me on the live. It says you bully her. Wow. have that done. So now what I have to do is the collar. So I'm going to go ahead and first go ahead and stitch the placket area. I don't even know where the instructions are because the instructions are garbage. It's not what you're supposed to do. I'll just be honest with you there. Right? Nina, this girl is a trip. All right, so listen. I was at step number 8. Just so on the side seam and everything, I have made my way all the way to, from 8. I am now on, I have already done the sleeves. I am on number 30. So from 10 to 30 in every bit of about 10 minutes. I love it. Okay. All right, but I have to go back to put the, I'm going to do the hem and the placket, finish off the placket here in a second. But the collar, I just need to base at the top first. Okay, so I'm gonna base the top. I'm not gonna do like finish off the placket just yet because I want to press and then stitch in the ditch, and I need to finish off the hem before all of that. So I'm just gonna base the top just to go ahead and do my collar. So I'm gonna go ahead and baste across just to keep it in place at about 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. It's just a baste and stitch to keep it in place while I put on my collar. All right, so I did one side. I'm going to do the other side the same way. So I'm just going to baste this side now. Alright, so now that I have it basted, I'm going to go ahead and put on the collar. I'm going to switch my machine back to a regular length stitch. And then my collar is already done. You guys know how to do a collar. I have multiple tutorials on how I put my collar like this first and then pin it onto my garment. I feel like this is the most easiest way to get a really good collar. Alright, so I'm going to pin the center back of the collar to the center back seam. Making sure that the facing portion is definitely out of my way. All right, and then I'm just going to make sure that the dots match up with the shoulder seams and the end match up with the front. Making sure I match up all of my seams, all right? And I'm just going to pin all the way across. All right, need some more pins. Oh, there we go. I have a pin right there. Pin it in place. Nothing's more satisfying than a crisp collar, okay? Period, point blank. All right, this side is almost pinned completely. With Miss Hotness coming through to try it on, and she's like, ew, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get pinned to death. Oh my God, my neck.
Oh my God. Becky, look at her butt.
You didn't finish it, babe. It's so big, I get it. All right, so I have one more section to pin for the collar. It is now pinned on. This is what it looks like. Boom, boom, boom. So now I'm going to sew it using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance all the way across. Back stitch at the beginning and at the end. Even though this is not like a sew along, but I'm just kind of telling you what I'm doing so you have an idea. Woo! Alright. Almost lost the pen. The pen was flying. Flying pins. Alright. Ooh. This is looking really good. I'm being a hater right about now. All of this fabric out of the way. That's the problem when you don't maneuver your fabric and you try to keep going and then you start getting all that bunching up and all of that stuff. Don't do it. Take the time to maneuver around your fabric. Alright, I'm getting at the end. I'm going to back stitch. And voila. I'm going to trim it down. This is what it looks like. Now, I'm going to trim it down. I'm not going to put her label. She do have a label. Let me show you what her label looks like. It's in my drawer. Actually, Layla, do you want a label or no? Her label. Layla Co. Handmade Designs, even though she didn't design nothing. But she has her own label. Like, really? Alright, so I'm going to put her label in and then I'm going to close out this collar real quick. So let me trim down the seam allowance first. Alright, I trimmed it down. Now I'm going to pin her label onto the facing, the collar band facing. Real quick. Something like that. So I'm going to pin that. Ooh. And then I'm going to sew on the label at about 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, making sure that it's in the center of that collar band facing. That's the one that's not interfaced. That's considered the facing, so I am going to be doing that. And make sure that I don't get on that pressed edge. So I'm going to move that out of my way too. Alright. And I'm going to tuck the top part up and stitch. So then she'll have a label in her. Listen, this is a one of a kind, so I don't know nobody who really want to take her clothes, but you never know when you go to high school, right? I know back at my high school, they used to take shoes, so don't leave your shoes in a locker with no lock. They are gone when you come back, okay? So we are not still in those type of times, but I don't know anyone who wants to take her clothes, but you never know. Don't put it past nobody right now. Alright, so I'm going to press the seam. I literally stopped reading the instructions because the instructions are just completely trash right now. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and press the seam allowance up towards the collar band. Press that into place, just like this. And then close out my collar. Let me get some pins. And then I'm just going to close out this collar real quick. Ooh, that pin almost tried to poke me. See what I mean? These pins are torture. Now I remember when I used to couldn't stand doing shirts because my collar used to always come out like really bad and wonky. And then I just started perfecting shirts in terms of finding a different way to do collars. And ever since I started doing my collars this way, baby, when I say no issues, no issues with collars. Collars look good. Collars look pressed. Collars look plastic classic. Collars pointed. All of that, all the things that a collar needs to look good while you're wearing it. That was the thing. Just had to do some, you know. We appreciate the non-sew-alongs. That's what's good. I love it. You know, I try to give y'all sew-alongs. Then sometimes I just kind of like walk you through like the main parts that I find helpful. But I know everyone be like, Rochelle, could you just do a sew-along for that? I know majority of the people who watch me started following me due to sew-along, so it's like it's kind of hard to get away from sew-along because that's what a lot of people know me by. If it wasn't the Joanne sales, it was the sew-along. I think majority of my followers started following me because of sew-along. Not because of Joanne's, not because of the pattern drops. Even though I would say like some people started following me because of the pattern drops and the honesty of those pattern drops. But I literally think that majority of my subscribers and followers on YouTube are because of sew-alongs. So, yeah, like, Lynette, if you go to any button-down shirt pattern that I have a sew-along for, the collar is pretty much the same on every last one. You could even search, I think, New Look 6790, which is kind of like one of the last button-down shirts that I did on this channel not too long ago. You will see that the construction of the collar is the same that I do every single time. And it comes out flawless. Every time. No issues. It looks so good, so nice, so neat. Don't have to do, like in the instruction, it wants you to attach the collar, then the collar band, then the collar, then the collar facing. It's just too many times going back to the sewing machine to sew, and then you got to trim down all of these seams. It's just, in my opinion, too much. When you can sandwich all of that together, pin it together, sandwich them together, and then sew one time on the sewing machine and you're good. So, yes, now shirt making does take a long time, but once you start getting like the process of making the shirt, you'll be fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take out this basting stitch because listen, no one wants to see basting stitch on the right side of their garment. So I am taking that basting stitch out. Because one thing I like to do when I'm doing a collar, I like to baste it on the wrong side first, and then come back and do a top stitch or stitch in the ditch to close out that collar. And that's to make sure that I know that the stitchings are there, okay? It's not going to be like this. Let me show you. You see how at the bottom there's basting stitches right here? No, nobody have time for that. So I'm going to take those basting stitches out, which, you know, my daughter, she could have done that herself. But if I'm going to be doing something, I want to do it to the best of my abilities. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out for her. And then the only thing that's left for me to do tonight is the hem. And that's it. And then after breakfast tomorrow, I'll come in and do the buttonholes, and then wash it tomorrow night to where she could take photos in it and you guys could see her in her new shirt dress, because it's been a minute since I made her a shirt dress. She doesn't even own one shirt dress. When she said, "Mommy, I do not even have a shirt dress, and I have like 2 button-down shirts." She used to have a lot of button-down shirts. And then over time, she just really don't wear shirts like that. She is a t-shirt, and I'm going to call it, she's like the sweatpants type. A sporty chick, I guess is what you could call it. She loves her t-shirts and joggers every day to school. T-shirt, joggers, or cargo pants. That's it. She lives that simple life. She do not like jeans. She doesn't like jeans. She doesn't wear shorts a lot. So she's simple. When it comes time for school shopping, I know exactly what to get her. T-shirts, graphic t-shirts, some form of elasticated pants, and cargo pants. That's it. She is super simple. Love it. Because y'all know, a teenager be talking about, oh, I got to get these mini skirts. I got to get this crop top. She knows she better not come to me with no crop top. Her daddy be like, you go let her wear. He know I ain't finna let my daughter go out the house with a crop top on. Now, she see her little friends at school be doing it. And you know what I tell them? I ain't that girl's parent, so it doesn't matter to me what the girl wear, but you ain't wearing that to draw more attention to you. You got to teach these kids while they're young. All right. Almost done getting this basting stitch out of this collar. Almost there. I could see the light at the end of this tunnel, honey. Y'all heard the hub. He's gonna say something in every single video. But he don't like being on camera though. That's the thing. I'd be like, you always talking in the background and you don't never want to say nothing on the camera. Show your face, bro. And you know what he told me? Nah, you got that. Well, you got that. You doing such a fabulous job. Now, he's my IT support. So anytime my computer's acting a fool with me, something go down, microphone's not working or something, that's my guy. He's my IT person. He makes sure that I am always up and running for YouTube, for sure. Because there has been some Sundays or Saturdays where I start editing and either I lose connectivity, internet, which we have nothing to do with that. I'll lose internet, so then I'm literally editing Sunday morning before posting that afternoon, and I'm like literally editing like 9 o'clock in the morning to about noon. depending on how long a video is, how much graphics I have to do. So he keeps liquid and he keeps me hydrated during those sessions. But I came up with a different type of calendar for editing and posting and stuff. So if you guys notice, I have only been posting twice a week because that's what's manageable for me with working. My job changed. Last year, I've been at my job now for 8 months, but it seems like I do way more than when I first started. So, yeah. And some days I'll just be tired after work. So I build in enough time to get editing done. You know, I have a whole routine when I get home. I literally cook, put my stuff down, go in the kitchen. My husband and I, we cook. We cook together, which is funny. Because most people be like, no, my wife does all the cooking. I would be lying if I said I did all the cooking. No, we cook together. He'll do like the meat. Like I'll season the meat and have him either grill it or whatever. And then I do all the sides and stuff. So I'll do like the salad. I'll do the side, whether it's rice, noodles, whatever. I'll do all of that. Saute and anything that has to do with cooking on the stove. Most of the time it's me doing that. But anything that has to do with grilling something outside, because it's the summertime, I season it. Now go take it outside and cook it. Yeah. Alright, so this is what it looks like so far. So Lynette, it depends. So my longest editing session was 5 hours. So when I did the 1990s video, where happy 35th birthday to the 90s, that edit session took me out. It took me 5 hours to edit. I didn't even know if the video was going to be up by 6 o'clock. Because I started editing after eating breakfast Sunday, because I always make breakfast on Sunday. And then I'll take my shower and then start editing about 10. I have like a whole routine. 10, because, you know, go to the grocery store, all of that stuff on Sundays. Start editing roughly about 10. And then it's normally ready about noon. And then I'll go out with the family and do what I need to do. That day, it was raining, and it took me 5 hours to do that video. And I was like, we're not getting another video up this week, because 5 hours of editing is just a long time, to say the least. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the bottom hem portion. So all I need to do on this one is basically... This is one of the things that everyone asked me. It was folded this way for the placket, right? I'm going to take this, fold it onto itself where that pressed edge is. And I'm going to sew using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on both sides. Now, if you guys notice, your girl ditched the instructions a long time ago, because I'm going to show you guys this when I do like a small pattern review with some other stuff. I'm going to show you guys the instructions and how terrible the instructions are. Then you guys will see that I am so thankful I have done so many shirt dresses to not have to use the instructions to get this dress done for her. Because those instructions, baby, it makes no sense. Your girl got the hiccup. Am I growing or what? Alright. Yes, she better love this dress as much time as I took to do it. I will say, she cut the pattern pieces. Here's the thing. I cut her fabric out this morning right before work. I got up, had my tea, because I tend to drink tea in the morning instead of coffee. And then by 10 o'clock, I'm drinking a cup of coffee. Not every day. I don't drink coffee every day. But while she was still asleep in bed, I cut out her pattern because I knew I was going to do it on live today. So I was cutting out her pattern at 6 o'clock this morning. It took me, not cut it out, but cutting out her fabric, my bad. At 6 o'clock this morning, it took me 30 minutes to cut all her pattern pieces out. Then, after cutting it out, I went upstairs and got ready for work. So when I came home, she was like, we have to cut my fabric. I was like, girl, I did that at 6 o'clock this morning. She was like, really? I was like, yeah, everybody was still asleep. Listen, I can't be waiting on them. Oh, no, Lynette, I had to go to work today. I cannot be waiting on them all day to get some stuff done because my squad are not morning people. Just myself and my son. Saturday mornings, he'll be like, Mommy, you could just come in my room and we'll watch TV. And we'll wait all day. But my daughter and my husband, they wake up to food on the weekends. They smell biscuits or whatever I'm making. I have a whole menu so they could not have to ask me what we are having. That used to be the thing. What are we having for breakfast? What are we having for lunch? What are we having for dinner? So I got tired of that, so I bought the Skylight, and it has menus, chores, all of that stuff on it, to where my kids don't have to ask me what we are having for dinner. My husband does that crap too. Ask me what we're having for dinner, and I'd be like, for real? What we having? What do you mean? Yeah. So now the kids just kind of play off of what he does. What we having for dinner? I don't know. Y'all tell me what should we have, you know? Yes, Lynette. So I cut my daughter's fabric this morning while she was asleep because I knew I was going to do it on live today. And then I went to work. And worked until 4. I normally get off at 5. But actually, I didn't even work until 4. I worked until about 3:30. Left, went to the grocery store to get, an onion to make dinner tonight. And yes, I'm saying we because my husband grilled the chicken outside while I was making the noodles and cutting up bell peppers, onions, for the chicken yum yum noodles. So I made some noodles, like pasta noodles. Then you put sauteed bell peppers, onions, and then I make a yum yum sauce mixture. And that's what we had for dinner. I actually took pictures like a week ago. But it's like a staple on a Friday. You want something quick. And that's what the family wanted. So that's what I did. Alright, so I'm going to serge the side seams. Let me first clip the bottom of the pocket, and I'm going to do it on the other side too because I'm going to serge it together. Now listen, my serger literally decides that it wants to act a fool, and listen, we can't have this right now because I was doing real good, and now we're gonna have to just rethread the top thread. It's okay. It's okay. I'm being very humble in this situation because y'all know one thing that I can't stand doing is rethreading the serger. But I feel like I rethread the serger with every single project simply because I tend to go through different colors. That's why I literally had to redo my sewing plans, because I did not group the colors together to not have to go back and forth undoing, re-threading the machine because of different colors for my serger. So I have them grouped together to where I'm sewing 2 to 3 projects with the same color thread, serger thread I should say, before changing to another color. So let me re-thread this boy, the thing that makes me really, it's that patience life trying to get the thread in the needle, man. That's that patient life right there. I am going to be patient. Get on in there. Get on in there. All right, there we go. There we go. Got that one, the lower looper. Now let's just get that needle in there. All right, so now let's put the thread in the needle. And then after this project, I'm definitely changing my needles. I normally change my needles out like after about 3 projects on the sewing machine. Now the serger, I'll probably go like up to 5 before changing out the needle in my serger. All right, we're back in business with the serger. All right, so just to finish off serging the side seam so she doesn't have like weird looking seams going on, or you have a nice dress and for some reason your inside seam is not looking clean, if you know what I mean. I call it, you want it clean on the inside, clean on the outside. All right, now I'm gonna serge around the pockets on this side. And now go above the pocket and serge that portion. Voila! Side seam is completed on this side. I'm gonna check the other side seam. So Skylight is it's an LED calendar that you can put on your wall, and it integrates with like a grocery list, a meal plan, chore list. I actually showcased it in the video. I'll put the link to that video, or I'll put a link to what it is, Lynette, so you're able to see it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is a little pricey, but I was needing a visual calendar for like all of my projects, videos, and stuff, and it's easier for my daughter too, because when I have things that comes up, she could easily tap on the calendar and say need to do reel for, let's say for instance it was the reel for the collar. So yesterday it said to edit reel for collar for today, so she could add to it. I could mark things as done, so it integrates with Outlook, Google Calendar, some other calendars too. But I love it. I use it daily. And my kids' chores are on there, so they know. The chores is on there. I don't need to say, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Did you forget to do that? Did you forget to do this? Did you forget to do that? I don't have to say that simply because by the end of the night, I just go to the Skylight calendar, look and see what chores are not marked off, and I will literally wake my kids up out of their sleep and tell them to come downstairs and go handle that chore board. Did that last night to my daughter, and she was not a happy camper, but she understood the assignment. Yeah. No problem on that. I'll share the link with you guys. But just know, it's super good. I wouldn't recommend it if it was not good. Y'all should know that by now. You ain't recommending some crap, right? I said as much as it cost, it should have been for breakfast. And honestly, I think it was either $5.99 or close to $700 for it. But it's very, very big. And when I say it's big, it's like 2 feet by 2.5 or something like that. Yeah, and I have mine hanging up and down, long ways, or what they call it, portrait ways, versus widescreen, and it's super huge. So. Ooh, the pen almost tried to catch me. All right. Woo. Now I'm going to do around the pockets. Oh, geez. That thing almost took me out. Okay, so she's looking good, real good, if I do say so myself. All right, so just to recap, what's left to do? Of course, we have the hem, which I'm going to finish that now. Do the placket. So let me kind of sit down and share. All right, so I have, it looks so good. Oh my gosh. It looks so good. Oh, I'm jelly. Can y'all tell? I'm so jelly. Ugh. Why it cannot be mine. Nina, no, I don't stand up sewing. I only stand up to use the serger, but I sit down and sew. But yes, it will hurt your back if you stand up too much with sewing. But I normally sit down and sew unless I'm doing a sew along. If I'm doing filming a sew along, I run back and forth between the table and the sewing machine. So that's why when I do a sew along, I normally film in batches. Normally, like a sew along, I normally film in 3 to 4 days. You guys only see it as like either one video or something like that, but it's multiple days. I actually just finished doing a sew along the day before yesterday, and it was like 3 days that I took to do it. So that's why I do the check-ins to let you guys know, like, hey, this is day number 2, and this is today's date, then that way you know, like, your girl ain't sitting up here in a whole sitting sewing a whole item. Just like I had 45 minutes to do all the prep, so the collar and everything was done in 45 minutes, and then I took a break and then came back to do the lie. All right, so just kind of like what's left to do. I need to do the hem. I already created like a 5/8 of an inch seam allowance on a hem. I need to press it up, press to that 5/8 of an inch seam allowance line, and then press up again and top stitch that. Super easy to do. Go ahead, and then I need to also go ahead, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go ahead and do the placket in the front. I'm going to go ahead and sew that together now, but before I do that, let me go ahead and do the hem. So I'm just going, because this is going to be kind of like a casual, instead of me pressing up, I'm just going to serge the bottom and then press up and sew it in place. Because, listen, it's going to be a casual dress, so I don't see what's the point of pressing so many times. Actually, I am, because I don't want to use... Actually, you know what? I don't even need to use my serger anymore. Let's just go ahead and turn that off now. Then I can just sit down. Okay. I am done with the serger, y'all. So we just go ahead and press from here. Okay? So let me get to this ironing board. And I am working on the hem. And then I'm going to do the placket area, and then I am 100% done for tonight. So I am pressing up her hem right now. Nina, what are you working on right now? Y'all listen. So, you know the Make 5 and the Make 9 challenge, right? I have the pants done for Butterick 7012. It's done. I just have to photograph in it. Like, I can show y'all. Only sneak peek right here, okay? That's the back. This is the front. And I also took some scrap. And it's also in the sew along video. So the sew along video should be dropping, I think, next week, because I need to still take photos of it. So yeah, I have like 3 photo shoots tomorrow. Different locations. 2 different locations for the photo shoot. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like a busy day tomorrow, out and about with photo shooting. So, I already have my accessories and everything laid out upstairs in my little area where I get dressed when I'm doing photo shoots. I have that done. And I'm super excited because I think I'm going to actually wear the hair down and not in a ponytail tomorrow to give it a different look, because I was looking back at my last Battle of the shirt dress, and I did a ponytail, a long ponytail. So I think this one I'm going to actually wear curly and wear this down. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have to, once I get dressed and put on accessory and bottoms with the button-down shirts or whatnot, then I'll know exactly if it should go up or down. I'm debating on if I want to put a blazer with it or not. We'll see how that goes when I put everything together. Mañana, meaning tomorrow. Alright. Oh, I would say, why is this iron so hot? Isn't it supposed to be hot? Yeah. Oof. This steam, though. I am literally pressing this hem into submission. It has to be right. If I'm working on it, it has to be right. Alright, so I'm just going to pin the hem in place to where I could sew it. Right? Woo. Still hot. I'm going to take the corner of the bottom of the placket area and I'm going to give that a press. Now that the hem is in place, I can press that into place too. And put a pin there. Whew. Y'all, it's hot. This iron gets so hot. And it's not the Oliso. It is a Black & Decker. I do have a Oliso. I have it upstairs, and that's basically, I use it for when I am, you know, going to work, pressing like a button-down shirt or whatever. I keep it upstairs separate than my sewing area. So that's for just things that I need to press for my son. I don't press my daughter's nothing. She could iron her own clothes. My son, he makes me nervous with trying to iron his own clothes, so I still assist him in that. But now that he's 10, he has to do it himself. So, you know, I try to make my kids self-sufficient to where they're not relying on me for everything. And that portion, I think with everything that I use in these videos, Black & Decker need to cut me a check. Joann's never cut me a check, y'all. Some people thought that I was working with Joann's, like Joann's was sponsoring me just to go in their store and tell y'all the pattern sells each week. No, Joann's did not sponsor nothing. I was just doing that because I just happened to work close to Joann's, like 2 miles away from my job was Joann's. So I went in there quite often. Lunch breaks, after work. Most of the time it was my lunch break going inside Joann's. Because it was super close. I mean, it's been a month since Joann's closed, and guess what? Your girl still is not okay, but we gonna be okay. Every time I try to get the sewing, it's just something. So, okay. What do you think is stopping you from sewing? Is it just you're not inspired to sew anything right now? Because y'all know, I did a whole complete series. I think I did 5 videos on how I got my sojo back last year when I lost it. And when I say I lost it, your girl lost it all the way. I think I didn't sew for like 2 months. I lost my sojo bad. So now, to prevent from losing my sojo, I literally sew less days. So I have days that I sew, days that I film, days that I edit. Not to drive myself crazy with just sewing or just editing or just filming all the time like a recorded, you know, video or like a freaking machine, you know, like, hey, I gotta record today. And that's one thing that I started getting tired of doing, of just editing all the time. I felt like I was editing 4 days a week, sewing less. So I came up with a schedule that I am actually trying out now. It's been going very well for June. I'm gonna keep the schedule into July and then tell you guys what I did and how did it work for me. Give y'all kind of like an update. Y'all see me sewing more, so apparently it must be working, right? And sometimes you just have to readjust some things to fit sewing in. And for me, I know I get a lot of time to sew on Fridays, mainly. Saturdays, I normally do a lot of out of the house type stuff with the family at the end of the week. And then Sunday mornings I normally sew. I used to post videos on Sunday, but I literally stopped doing that because now I use Sunday mornings to edit before my video goes live, like at 5, sometimes 6 o'clock, depending on if I'm going to be out the house or not. Most of the time, I don't get back in the house until about 4, and I like to check to make sure with YouTube everything is uploaded and all that good stuff before posting. So that's why I normally do like 6 o'clock on Sundays. And then one day during the week, normally it's going to be like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I used to do Thursdays too, but I have to scale back from doing 3 videos a week because your girl was tired of editing, okay? I get tired of editing a video every 2 to 3 days, you know? It's a lot of work, y'all. Christy, to answer your question about making buttonholes and sweatshirt material, yes, I do know how to do that. But I hardly ever make sweatshirts because of where I live. I used to make them all the time when I stayed in South Carolina, but because I stay in a hot freaking climate, I literally have done one, kind of like a one pullover, ouch, one pullover shirt since I've been here in Florida. I was doing the Sew 5 and Below a couple of years back, and I did a sweatshirt, and I was like, oh, it's too hot for this. And I probably have only worn that sweatshirt 3 times since making it back in like 2022. All right, so I'm repinning this collar, the placket on the right side now, simply because it just needs to be sewn together on both sides, and that's it for tonight. Yep. And then all that's left for me to do is make the buttonholes and add on the buttons tomorrow. That's it. Ooh. 34. I have that pattern for my son as well. Because my son is tall. He's tall. So he's like almost to my shoulders, y'all. Okay? So he's tall, and I know he's going to be over 6 feet, but he has these daddy long legs with a small waist. So the only place I could purchase pants for him is Target, because they have that like elastic where you could pull the elastic and buttons on the side. He needs that. However, it's either going to be a small waist that fits him, but the length of the pants are too short and they're high waters. So what do? You know what I do? I purchase his pants too big in a waist to accommodate for his legs, and then do an alteration and just taking the waist for him is what I do. Every time it's time for Christmas or back to school, I literally block off a whole week to just do his pants to where he's not looking crazy for school. Yeah. He's very petite, but he's super tall. So that's why it gets me when he be like, Mommy, and people think that I'm my daughter's sister, big sister, or whatever. I'm like, and she'd be like, oh no, that's my mom. I'm like, are you just trying to call me short? Are you just trying to say I'm super young looking? Like, what is it at this point? I remember the first time my daughter's friend called me her sister, and I literally wanted to flip. She said, hey, Layla's sister. And I was like, excuse me? Hey, Layla's sister. That's the worst, when a teacher call you your kid's mom. Hey, Dominic's mom. I have a name. You know? I will literally set a teacher her straight real quick, calling me a Layla's mom or a Dominic's mom. No, that's not my name. And yes, I am their mom, but I would love for you to call me by my name. We're not going to start that. All right, so one side placket's done. Time to do the other side, and then I can show you what that placket looks like. Ooh, y'all, so good. And I'm being a little petty right now with my daughter's shirt dress because I really want it for myself. But it's of course too small for me to wear for sure. And I know my niece is definitely going to want this when my daughter outgrow it. My niece is only 9, so every time I have made, back in the days I used to do a mommy and me with my daughter back in like 2021. All of my daughter's old clothes that I made her sent to my sister to give to my niece. And my niece is still on this kick with, when the next box of clothes coming? And you know what I told her? I said, ain't no box of clothes coming. I don't sew nothing for my daughter. I literally stopped buying patterns for my daughter. Like, for what? Because my daughter is now in the adult patterns. You know, she'll wear like 8, you know, in adult patterns. If there's a size 8, she could fit that pattern, right? Based off of her height and her measurements, she's always going to fall towards the first 2 numbers on a pattern if it has a small range size, right? So I do not literally pick up any girls patterns or whatever. This one just happens to go all the way up to a 14, and it shows, well, it showed her bust measurement, waist measurement, and she fits into that size. So that's why I was like, well, since I bought the pattern, I might as well go ahead and at least sew it up, see what it's about. But do I regret it? No. But are those instructions trash? Absolutely trash. You read the instructions, it's not gonna tell you when you need to attach the front to the back at the shoulders. It's not going to tell you how to do the collar. It skips over the collar completely. You know, it doesn't tell you to cut out the right amount of pattern pieces, but you wouldn't know if you are a first-time shirt maker. Only those who's been sewing for a while would know and look and say, oh, you just don't have enough pieces cut out for your collar. You told me to cut 2, but you really need 4 and attach them together, yada, 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 you know? So I really appreciate that. Layla! Sorry, y'all. All right, so I'm at the end of the placket, and perfect timing, because now we are officially done. Let me say it one more time.
Oh, I see.
Officially done. All that's left to do is the buttons and buttonholes. I'm going to mark the buttonhole portion tonight. I did have to make an adjustment because I enlarged this by 6 inches. I had to add 2 more buttons for the bottom. But now, could you do me a favor though? Could you go in the bathroom, take that shirt off because I want to make sure it fits without that shirt on. The shirt's going to add a little bit more layers or whatnot. Okay, that's fine. But could you do that? And don't show all your goodies, but yeah.
Ew.
Come back, please. So you can show the camera. I'm going to move my chair so she can show you guys. And while she's doing that, I can definitely turn off my iron, put up my ironing board, get to cleaning my sewing studio. Libby, ask y'all this. Do you guys clean up after each project, or do you guys clean up after a couple of projects? Like, how do you keep your sewing studio or space or whatever? Let me know. I'm gonna go grab the broom real quick and come right back. Hold on.
Packets, people. Where my packets at?
Alright, show them what it looks like. Look who I found.
Ow.
Ooh, that's cute, girlfriend.
I know, I found something that looked good on my body.
Okay.
Looked good on my skin tone.
Okay, we're not talking about your skin tone. But I actually like how it looks. What y'all think?
I think I might need.
Mommy did a wonderful, I would say belted.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think, you know.
But
belt
I don't have the right belt for it because I have the one with the hoops.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. But hold on, I want to see the length because I made it all the way down to your knees.
Yeah.
I enlarged it. Yes.
Like it.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect fit. Look at that fit. Mommy got that fit right.
Yeah. I need a belt.
I know. Mommy got that fit right. Just got to add the button holes, the buttons. I should have, you know,
Ooh,
now that
I have an idea with this.
critique, hold on. Now that I critique this, I think I should have put some tabs
No.
on it to where you could roll your sleeves up like
Why
this.
would I do that? It's hot all year long.
Okay, whatever. Look. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I did not add like bust pockets and flaps because it would have just disturbed the fabric a little bit. But I like it. You could go ahead and take it off now.
I hate bust pockets. I don't know why you would think that.
Okay, you can go ahead and take it off. Woo!
I like it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Christy. So, you guys, that is it for the live. I appreciate you guys hanging with me for the last 3 hours. It's been a blast. Now you guys know. Your girl sewed this entire shirt dress together in 3 hours, okay? Start to finish. That's sewing time. And the reason why I'm saying 3 hours is simply because we took a break in between. The things you do for your kid, right? She loves it.
I do.
I'm thankful for that. It's been amazing. I just finished sweeping up all of the scraps on my floor. Here, could you put that away?
Yes.
And she just put her, look what she did. She just put, hold on. She just put her dress on my dress form. Look at this. She put her dress on my dress form. Look. Okay.
Mom, trust me, Dahlia doesn't mind.
Yeah, Daria doesn't.
Dahlia.
All right, so anyway, I thank you guys so much for hanging with me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get everything straightened up. Just basically clean off my table here for my next sew-along session because I do have sew-along that I need to start on Sunday simply because I'm not going to be home for the 4th of July. So I have to get it done early enough to be able to post during the 4th of July. So I'll start working on that on Sunday in a hour-and-a-half block. That's all I have for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I don't even remember what pattern that I'm supposed to be starting to sew along for. It's on my calendar. So yeah, that's what we do. But I do appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Come back, not Friday the 4th, but I will be sewing live again July the 11th with a special guest, and y'all know it's Auntie Carol. If you missed it, not last week, but the week before, episode number 2, I shared that Miss Carol will be joining me live July 11th. So come back for some good old time. And I'm going to say, it's going to be a good time with Miss Carol, okay? It's going to be hilarious. Plan for at least 2 hours. I'm going to try to get you guys in and out in 2 hours. But y'all know with Miss Carol, it could literally be another 3 hours. So I don't know what I'm going to sew yet, but let me show you guys the basket, how I've been sewing it down in the last 3-ish weeks. So the basket that you guys saw has been literally sewn down. Actually, it's like four projects in the basket that's left. And I have 11th, 18th, 25th. I have like 5 more weeks left. So, I think your girl can make it. I think your girl is going to make it for the Summer WIP series. And then at the very end, I'm going to show every single thing that I sewed on the summer series at the very end of the series. So far, it's been going good. I've been loving it. All right. Well, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and put the outro music on, and I will catch you guys July 11th for the next live of the Summer WIP series. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. Way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting all black like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with.